Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something a little bit different, but trust me, it's still right up our alley. The brand new gameplay reveal for 007 First Light has dropped, and there's a lot of buzz around it. Now, plenty of content creators are already doing frame-by-frame breakdowns of every detail, but I'm not here to rehash all that. Instead, I want to talk about something that connects directly to this channel and my own love of games. The driving, the cars, and just how much they've nailed that iconic James Bond style. This video is a bit of a departure from usual content on the channel. Normally we're all about big rigs, off-road trucks and sims, but here's the thing. I've been a James Bond fan for as long as I remember, and on top of that, I'm a massive fan of IO Interactive, the studio behind the Hitman series. So when these two worlds collide and I see 007 First Light blending espionage, cinematic missions and exotic cars, I can't help but get excited. For me, cars have always been just as much a part of Bond's identity as the tuxedo, the gadgets or the martinis. And from what I've seen in this reveal, First Light is staying true to that tradition. So let's start with the obvious. Aston Martin. Bond and Aston Martin go together like the peanut butter and jelly. It's a partnership that goes back decades, and it wouldn't feel right to have a Bond game without one front and center. And sure enough, in the trailer we get a glimpses of these classic rides perfectly recreated down to the curves, chrome and sound. But it's not just Aston Martins. One of the coolest moments in the trailer was seeing Bond undercover as a chauffeur driving a Jaguar XJ. That scene alone tells me the devs are serious about making this as authentic as Bond experience as possible. It's not just about giving him shiny sports car, it's about placing him in believable scenarios where driving plays into the role. And here's the thing, the developers actually confirmed they secured official licensing for these cars. And that means no off-brand knockoffs with the names like Aston Martin, for example. You know the type, Bond from Wish.com or something. Instead, what we're getting here is the real deal, and that's a massive for fans who care about authenticity. And speaking of authenticity, IO Interactive didn't just model these cars visually, they actually went extra mile. According to the reveal, they brought real cars onto the track, rigged them with microphones and recorded everything. The roar of the engine, the crackle of the exhaust, the screech of the tires, everything like that. All of it captured to make the in-game cars sound just as aggressive, as authentic as the real thing. That attention to detail gets me hyped because, let's be real, you can make the cars look amazing, but if it sounds like a hairdryer, that illusion quickly falls apart. Hearing that throaty Aston Martin growl or the Jaguar's deep rumble as you weave through traffic in the chase, that's what really sells the experience for me. Now let's talk about those chases we've seen in the trailer. We saw these cinematic set pieces straight out of the Hollywood blockbuster or something. Explosions, cars flipping, tight escapes, it's all a visual candy. And honestly, I don't want sim-style physics here. I want it to feel larger than life, fast-paced, arcadey, and thrilling. That's exactly what the Bond is all about. We're not looking for Assetto Corsa levels of realism here. We're looking for Bond skidding around corners in a chase through the streets of London, or maybe breaking through the barriers to escape in style. And from what I've seen in the trailer so far, IO Interactive gets it. They get it, and they get the balance right. One scene that really stood out to me showed Bond breaking into 1970 Aston Martin DBS. Now here's the thing, that car clearly doesn't belong to him. He smashes the window, hotwires it and drives off. That detail is important because it tells us that this isn't the seasoned spy, the Bond we all know. This is a younger Bond still finding his footing, and maybe this is the moment where his love affair with Aston Martin begins. It's a clever touch, it gives fans a connection to Bond's past while also setting the game apart with its own timeline and narrative twist. I know this game is not about Bond's past, it's actually a modern spin-off, but it raises a lot of questions and actually gets me excited. Oh, and I forgot, and eagle-eyed fans have already spotted something under the wraps in one of the screenshots. It looks suspiciously like an Aston Martin Valhalla. If that's true, it's a fantastic nod to the broader Bond's franchise. The films often showcased multiple cars mixing classics with cutting-edge modern models, and having something like the Valhalla waiting in the wings would absolutely fit into that tradition. So yeah, while a lot of the internet is dissecting 007 First Light for stealth mechanics, combat systems, or how it compares to the Hitman and maybe Uncharted, my car enthusiast brain is zeroed on these vehicles. The cars aren't just background props, they're essential part of what makes Bond, well, Bond. Seeing the effort IO Interactive has put into licensing, sound design and cinematic driving sequences has me more excited for this game than I expected. Even if it's not the usual type of title we cover on this channel, I felt like this reveal was worth highlighting for you guys. So that's my take on the driving and the cars in the 007 First Light, from Aston Martins to Jaguars, cinematic chases and even those little details like authentic engine notes. It looks like IO Interactive is committed to making this the most immersive Bond experience yet. But what do you guys think? Are you as hyped about the cars as I am, or are you more interested in the stealth and espionage side of the gameplay? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what stood out to you the most in this reveal. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and stick around for more content just like this. Even when we take a little detours from our usual games like SnowRunner and Roadcraft, it's always about celebrating the vehicles, the driving, and the way games bring them back to life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.